You know that moment where maybe your partner's flirting with someone and you're all there like keeping your chill. I'm not jealous. I'm evolved. I've transcended jealousy. But your inner gremlin is screaming, why the F are you touching my man or my woman? Yeah, let's talk about that. Today, we're diving into how to deal with jealousy in alternative relationships. I'm talking open, poly, swinging, or anything that falls outside the lines of traditional monogamy. And while I may be tailoring this video to open dynamics, this honestly applies to every single human, yes, that's you, who's loved someone. Because jealousy is not a non-monogamy problem. It's just a basic human emotion. And yeah, sometimes it sucks. When I first started exploring open relationships and I started feeling a little bit jealous, I would always think to myself, I'm not doing this right. But what I've come to learn is that jealous is not the enemy, and it can actually be a really, really healthy thing that can make you grow as a person. Believe me, trust me. I mean, I also want to reiterate here that I am no expert. I am coming at you as a human sex education student with the Sexual Health Alliance. Hi, my name is Allie. Because I am also still in the process of learning how to navigate jealousy, because Lord knows I still get jealous. In this video, I am simply sharing with you what I have learned through my personal experiences opening up my relationship, and also what I have learned as a sex ed student. Here's the thing, jealousy is completely normal. It's not a sign that you're insecure or immature. It's a sign that you care. Even in monogamous relationships, jealousy shows up all the time. The only difference is it's often buried or brushed off and not talked about. But in alternative relationship styles, we don't really get that option. We have to face the gremlin. We have to talk about it, we have to learn from it, and yeah, sometimes it can feel super, super yucky. And science backs this up, all right? So a study was done in 2024 in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, and they found that when people imagined their partner's infidelity, their jealousy response triggered protective behaviors aimed at maintaining closeness and security. So that gut feeling you have, that's not a flaw. It's your brain telling you that, hey, something that is really important to you is feeling threatened at this very moment. Now let's talk about for a second what jealousy really is. And I've done some of this work, okay? I've had these conversations in my own therapy sessions as a client, all right? So I've debunked some of this stuff and I wanna share this with you today. So jealousy is not just, I don't want my partner to do that. It's often a cover for something deeper. For example, fear of being replaced, feeling like you're not enough, comparison, or sometimes it's just about needing a little bit more reassurance. I have gone through time and time again all of these, but I have overcome them. I mean, some of them, but they still kind of creep in here and there sometimes. Research also shows that personality and attachment style play a big role in terms of jealousy. People who tend to identify as more anxious or emotionally sensitive tend to feel jealousy a lot stronger. There was a study done in 2022 in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health, and they found that traits of neuroticism and anxious attachment were strong predictors of jealousy intensity. Now, let me reassure you here, you are not doomed. That just might mean your jealousy might show up faster and louder, but trust me when I say everyone feels jealousy at one point or another. For me, jealousy often hits when I'm really tired and I haven't slept well. I'm feeling kind of disconnected from myself. I haven't been really doing the things that make me feel good in my body, or maybe if I haven't felt appreciated in a while. And I just need to hear, a few little words of validation, reassurance, and encouragement. But once I've learned to identify those triggers and really breaking down the trigger behind the jealousy, I started using this information more to learn from and to help me grow. And I know that sounds cliche, but once you understand where the jealousy comes from and you're able to name it and you're able to talk about it and you're able to let it go, you can show up in your life and in your partnership or partnerships with a lot more confidence. And confidence changes everything, not just in your relationships, but how you carry yourself every single day. Which actually reminds me of something small that actually makes a big different. And I just want to take a minute to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is based on how you present yourself, because oftentimes if you look good, you often feel good too. And you know what sometimes doesn't really look good is an old beat up belt that doesn't really fit right or keep your pants up. Now, most guys, yes, many of you watching are probably still wearing belts with stretched out holes that either pinch your waist or sag and just basically throw off your whole look. And that's why I'm super excited to share with you the sponsor of today's video, which is Anson Belt and Buckle. They're a family-run company that's been around since 2009, and they've reinvented how belts should work. I mean, I definitely purchased for my partner, for Gab, because his belt game was definitely not on point. So I was so excited to receive these wonderful new belts that I can dress him up in so he's looking sexy all the time. So as you can see, look, this one is like super casual, very nice. I don't know what you would call that material. I mean, I chose it, but it's like, it has a nice like casual look to it, you know, because Gab's a pretty casual guy. And as you can see, there are no holes on the belt. So basically, Anson uses a micro adjustable track system with 1/4 inch increments. So your belt fits perfectly every single time. So once you find yourself an adjustable belt that fits when you're sitting down in the car, so it's not like digging into your beden. Beden is what we call like a little belly in French. Or when you're going for a walk so they don't fall. Or maybe you eat too much pasta and you need a little bit of wiggle room there. So once you try it, I don't think you'll ever want to go back again. Plus, you can mix and match your buckle with your strap. So basically you always have a belt that fits your style without cluttering your closet. Now, Anson has received over 40,000 5-star reviews and are still family owned and back their belts with a lifetime guarantee. And because they're sponsoring today's video, if you click on the link in the description below or scan the QR code that you see on the screen, you'll get 2 bonus pieces, a buckle and a strap, completely free. Yes, you heard me, free. So basically that's 3 buckles and 3 straps that you can mix and match into 9 different belt combos, all in one box. It's an exclusive deal you absolutely won't get anywhere else. So make sure you click the link, build your box, and upgrade your belt game today. Now, since a lot of you watching this video are maybe considering some kind of alternative lifestyle relationship, here's something interesting for you. A 2019 study done in the Frontiers of Psychology compared monogamous individuals to consensually non-monogamous relationships. They found that while most people in consensual non-monogamous relationships spent more time thinking about their partner's other partners, they actually reported lower emotional distress and higher communication satisfaction. So that does not mean that they do not get jealous. It just means that they're a lot more used to navigating it a lot more consciously because the level of communication required for alternative lifestyle relationships is real high. You need to be prepared for that, just letting you all know. They've built frameworks for communication and reassurance rather than let jealousy quietly build into resentment. And we all know, all right, that resentment spreads like cancer. And if not dealt with, it will absolutely kill your relationship. Not just your relationship, but potentially you as a person as well. Now, how do we work through jealousy? All right, I'm just gonna give you a few little quick tips of some things that I learned over the last couple of months as I have been navigating this open relationship stuff, which let me tell you, some of it is super fun, some of it is not so fun, but at the end of the day, I'm still pretty grateful for these learning experiences because I really do feel, even though sometimes you sit in the yucky feelings, that they're making me better as a person. I hope so, anyways. So how do you actually deal with it without letting it sabotage your relationship? The first one is get curious and not critical. So instead of saying to yourself, I shouldn't feel this way, try and reframe it as, what is this feeling trying to show me right now? This shift alone can change everything. Number 2, communication without blame. Use I statements like, I felt a little left out when you didn't check in with me after your date, instead of, you made me jealous. It keeps your partner open instead of getting defensive. And I understand that this one can make it seem like you're being really vulnerable and maybe coming off as weak by saying something like, man, you didn't check in with me after your dinner date, like kind of needy. Because honestly, before, that's definitely something I would have thought like, God, I'm not gonna say that. Like, that's embarrassing. But let me tell you, okay, after some practice, that shit helps. All right, it helps. And like I say a lot, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, all right? If you say something like this to your partner and they come at you and you're like, oh, like, why are you being so needy? No, that's a red flag, all right? If they come at you and being like, oh, I'm so sorry, next time I will do that. And then they circle back and be like, I'm checking in now, how are you? Like, oh, that is like panty melting. That is hot, it's great, it's good, all right? Number 3, self-soothing and reassurance. Sometimes what you need is not deep talk, it's just grounding. This is probably one of the most important ones for me to deal with jealousy. Some examples are journaling, self-pleasure, meditation, texting a friend who gets it, which is definitely something that I do not exercise enough of, is reaching out to friends. And one of the biggest things for me is exercise. Do sports, be active. That gets me out of my head and into my body and always makes me feel better, more empowered, more confident, and kind of forget about the jealousy. The goal here is to connect with your own sense of security. All right, finally, redefining the trigger. So jealousy doesn't always need to lead to destruction. It doesn't need to be this big, heavy, emotional, aggressive, angry state. Research actually shows that it can motivate closeness and care depending on how it's handled. So another study done in the Journal of Investigation in Health, Psychology, and Education found that jealousy correlated both with negative and positive relationship behaviors in women, depending on the communication style and the emotional awareness. So it's not about eliminating jealousy, because honestly, that ain't never gonna happen, all right? It's about directing it towards connection rather than control. I'll be honest, I opened up my relationship at the beginning of this year. I had some great highs, I had some lows, and currently I'm going through some lows as well. And some of those also have to do with jealousy. But part of what makes my channel what it is that I try things. I explore, I learn, and jealousy always finds a way to remind myself that I'm not crazy, all right? I'm human, and other people are human too. By the way, if you want to see some of the behind the scenes stories of, the type of open relationship / sexcapades / sharing of personal stories of mine with my partner, traveling, and so on, you can check out my Patreon. I post a lot of behind the scenes content on there. Yes, some of them are, some juicy details of some experiences that I've had, but I also post a lot of travel content on there and just a little bit more about my life sometimes. So if you care, if you're curious, if you want to support this channel and you want to support my sex education and motivate me to continue creating content like this, you can by clicking on the links below this video to check it out. You can join for free or you can contribute. And I just want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon subscribers. Merci beaucoup. So yeah, jealousy, it's a tough thing to navigate, but I will say going to therapy, a sex therapist, potentially, if you're interested in that, I think everyone should see a sex therapist. Very helpful. I started seeing a therapist at the beginning of this year when I decided to open up my relationship because I knew that some things were gonna come up. I didn't know what, I didn't know when, I didn't know how, but I wanted to make sure that I was prepared with a support system to help me navigate these things. I've even purchased books, the jealousy workbook recommended by my therapist. I know it looks like it's from 1982. Maybe it's a little dated, but honestly, it's pretty practical so far. I mean, pretty practical. I've honestly only gone through the first 10 pages. But books, talking to people, watching videos like this one, and knowing you're not alone and that you could find some relief and relating to someone else really, really helps navigate jealousy and calms down your nervous system a little bit, because that's what helped me, watching YouTube's videos like this of other people dealing with their jealousy stuff. So I would love to know in the comments, how does jealousy show up for you in your relationship? And I know the title of this video is about alternative lifestyles, but honestly, if you're in a monogamous relationship, that's okay too. I would love to hear you tell us what helped you move through it, because I think a lot of other people would appreciate and get some relief in what you have to share. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like, a subscribe, a notification, all that kind of stuff, so you can see more videos and have some more casual conversations about sex, relationship, and emotional growth. And of course, don't forget to click the Anson belt link in the description below. It's the first one, so you can get your 2 bonus pieces, a buckle and a strap, completely free when you purchase a box. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Merci, au revoir.